Hi, welcome to the midweek menu. I'm Denise Barrett, registered dietitian with Fine Ripe Nutrition. And today we're going to be talking sweet potatoes. And I have to tell you a funny story. I thought I was live, but I was not. And I realized I hadn't recorded and I made everything. So it's sort of funny, but because I told you I was going to be here today, I am going to share sort of what happened over the last few minutes, and I hope that you will still get some live making here, and I can share with you a little bit about sweet potatoes. Funny story, but not so funny at the same time, but things happen, I can guarantee that. But I live in North Carolina. North Carolina's the sweet potato producer of the U.S. So fall's the season. You'll be seeing a lot of different varieties at the farmers markets. And I'm going to share a few varieties with you. And also you can find out some more varieties on my blog. They'll be up later this afternoon. And I'm going to be making a soup, or actually I've already made the soup. I'm going to be showing you a salad, and I'm going to be showing you a dessert. So I want to tell you a little bit about, there's orange varieties of sweet potatoes, and there are yellow varieties of sweet potatoes. And then I'm going to tell you the difference between a yam and a sweet potato. And you might be surprised when you hear why. So the two orange ones I'm going to share today are the Covington, which is a North Carolina sweet potato. When you bake it, it's going to have a caramely sweet flavor that you will love. And it's great for desserts and even side dishes. And I've even made sweet potato fries with it. And then there's the garnet. Before I go into the garnet, let me show you what the flesh of the Covington looks like. So it's beautiful orange. The garnet is also a beautiful orange. This one's actually been baked, and it's been baked this morning, so it's a little bit different texture than when it's hot. But it's beautiful ruby red garnet on the outside, but orange on the inside. And I think the most wonderful thing about the garnet is the fact that it's thick and dense and sweet, and it's like a pumpkin texture inside, and you can use it like you would pumpkin in recipes. And in my dessert recipe, I used a combination of Covington and garnet. So you might be surprised when you see these two potatoes that they are both yellow flesh. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about them. This one is actually a Japanese. And this is how it looks on the inside. You might be surprised because it's a really pretty purple red on the outside. But it's the white creamy color on the inside. It sort of tastes like a chestnut, if you know what a chestnut tastes like. And it's great for savory things like fries, or it's a little firm, so it can be used a little bit more for savory things. And that's the thing about sweet potatoes too. A lot of times we think of them for sweet potato pie, or candied yams, which I'm going to tell you a little bit more about in a minute. But they're great in tacos, or pizza toppings, or burrito filling. They're great in soups, which I'm going to show you how I made one in a minute. And also anything else savory you want to make out of them. Now, particular ones, the firmer ones, may be better for some of the savory things. The things you want creamy, you may want the softer inside of some of them. But this one is called a star leaf or baneo, and it is a Latin or even a Caribbean sweet potato. And this is what it looks like on the inside. And in my first video that I didn't shoot, I actually peeled it, but I could peel this for you just a little bit. Oh, here's my knife. I was like, where did my knife go? But actually you can see how easy it is to peel a sweet potato. So it's pretty easy compared to the squash that I peeled a couple of weeks ago, but it's really pretty easy. And that leads me into sharing with you a little bit about the difference between a sweet potato and a yam. So a sweet potato is an American vegetable. It originated in the Southern Americas, and it has become a staple in the Southern U.S., you know, almost as long as we've been the United States. It's high in vitamin A, and the yam in comparison, you probably don't see many yams. And that's because it's more originated in Africa and sort of that region of the world. Cassava, if you've ever seen a cassava root in the store, that's probably more along the line of a yam. Yams can grow, you know, maybe 4 or 6 feet. They have a very hard skin, so they're very hard to peel. They're sort of like almost like a coconut skin, and they're very sweet inside, and they don't have vitamin A in them. So when you have candied sweet potatoes for Thanksgiving, call them candied sweet potatoes, because more than likely they aren't candied yams. That's just a name that sort of originated a long time ago, but they really aren't yams unless you get one somewhere else. You probably won't find them at the store to make candied yams this Thanksgiving. But don't correct your grandmother or your aunt or your mom, because they might be mad at you for the holidays. So that's a little bit about the difference between the sweet potato and the yams. And I'm going to tell you how I made the soup a little bit ago. I put a combination of orange and white sweet potatoes in the stock pot, heated it up, let them get soft, added my spices, which included cardamom, ginger, a little cayenne, salt and pepper. And what I did at that point was I added some bell pepper, some green onion, let it get really soft. And the soup, you could temper the temperature of it being spicy or more mild depending on who you're cooking for. It was a little bit spicy with the combination that I used, but it wasn't spicy enough for my husband, so he used a little sriracha at the end. And then after that, I added some garbanzos, some coconut milk, and some tomatoes, and just let it simmer. But from cutting up everything to getting it ready for the table, it took about 45 minutes, which I don't think is that long for soup. But here it is all finished. It's got protein from the garbanzos. It's got beautiful red from the tomatoes and the bell pepper, orange and yellow from the sweet potatoes. Oh, and then I forgot to tell you, I added greens almost towards the end of cooking. So it's a beautiful soup, and it's delicious, and it's easy. So it's the sweet potato Thai curry soup that I hope that you will try. So the next thing that I want to show you is a salad. And I sort of put it together earlier when I thought I was filming, but I wasn't. I massaged the kale ahead of time, which is actually adding some oil, a little bit of salt, and just gently massaging it for about 5 minutes. I roasted some yellow and orange sweet potatoes ahead of time. I peeled them and then chopped them into cubes, about maybe 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch cube. And then I added cranberries and walnuts. You could add a little Parmesan cheese or goat cheese, but you have a beautiful fall salad. You can vary the ingredients. You could put apples in it. In another recipe, I use lemon juice instead of the balsamic dressing, and I roasted beets. You can roast white potatoes, you can roast parsnips, rutabagas, you can even roast Brussels sprouts in it, and it's just a fantastic salad. You've got all the colors from the sweet potatoes, the kale, and the cranberries. So that'll be up on the website, like I mentioned, later on this afternoon. Now, last but not least, I have dessert. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I made it, and I'm going to show you the final product. But it's very, very easy, and I actually took a combination of garnet and Covington, and I just pierced them and microwaved them till they got very soft. And then after that, I let them cool, and then I scooped out the flesh. I mashed it up with a little bit of vanilla, a little salt, a little bit of vegan margarine, and a little bit of maple syrup. And I came up with a nice mashed, and I mashed them, if I didn't mention that, a nice mashed sweet potato. And then for the topping, I melted some dark chocolate with just a smidge of vegan margarine again. I'll tell you more of the proportions on the blog post. And then I added pecans. So it's sort of like a chocolate pecan pie, except it's a chocolate sweet potato pie. And I baked it for another few minutes in the oven to sort of congeal the sweet potatoes with the chocolate pecan topping, and then I added pecans. So it's a cute little individualized dessert. It could be displayed really attractively for your fall gatherings. You can put them in their separate little bowls around some pumpkins, colorful fall leaves, gourds, and really make it a really, really pretty little dessert display. And I have another variation on the Vine Right Nutrition site that is more of a curry with coconut milk, shredded coconut with the topping without the chocolate, just the regular streusel that we put on our sweet potato pies. And it has a little cardamom and a little ginger in it, but not the cinnamon. The cardamom instead of the cinnamon. In my other variation, which I'll share with you on this blog post too. But I wanted chocolate and I wanted pecans. I love the fact that it is an individual portion, and that means when everybody's scooping out the sweet potato casserole at Thanksgiving, that it doesn't look like somebody's been digging in there. And these are all individual. People can grab them. You can redisplay them on the table, and they're going to be beautiful all day. So I hope that you enjoyed learning about all the varieties that I shared of the sweet potatoes. And like I said, there's many more. And I'll have like a lot more that I'm going to share with you to learn more about the varieties on the Vine Nutrition website. In addition, I'm going to have the recipes for the soup and the salad and the sweet potato dessert that I made. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you soon. Thanks for cooking with me. Bye-bye.